international award-winning author and a spiritual and intuitive mentor. And today is Friendship Friday, where we sit down and chat like we're just chatting like girlfriends over coffee. So I am excited. I've been just thinking through all the different things that I would love to share and looking forward to your comments and subjects and stuff as well. But one of the things that it just seems to be a theme each week, doesn't it? Like there's just something going on. And this week for me has been this place of developing intuition and really choosing to use it to make decisions and noticing the inner struggle sometimes that comes with that. Like, I know my intuition is on. And yet, at the same time, there's this fascinating way in which sometimes when we follow our intuition, is because it's trying to help us avoid something, right? And so when we follow it and nothing happens, we're like, oh, did that work? Or was that just like okay in the first place or whatever? But then there's that thing where it's like, oh, I have that piece of intuition and well, last time nothing happened, so I'm going to ignore it this time. And of course, we run into bad luck. And so then we have this whole internal thing. Well, does my intuition work or not? Or is it because I ignored it? And all that kind of stuff. So we have to pay attention and sort of trust. But the flip side happens as well, right? When we have the experience of getting a hit or simply knowing or whatever it is, and we follow it, and amazing and cool things happen too, right? So there's the affirmative, but there's both sides, and there's this whole relationship we have to develop around it. And so much of it is a walk of trust and a walk of faith. And sometimes I almost feel kind of disappointed by wanting to follow my intuition. And here's what I mean by that. Okay, so just this morning, a situation came up where there is an amazing opportunity to work with an individual I have admired for years, who is creating a lower than typical cost program. I could be part of like just a small group of 5 people working with her. And I mean, oh man, she is just amazing. And I would really love to, but something in me is holding back. Something in me is holding back. And I'm trying to sort through it. And I finally, we talked through a number of things this morning, and I finally sent her an email and said, here's my resistance point. I would love nothing more to work with you, but I really lean more towards the one-to-one experience because I know I'm somebody, I don't do the type A thing. I don't do the, extrovert on, do a million things a day kind of thing. It's just not who I am. And when I try to keep up with those people, I burn out. And while I really want to take everything to the next level, and I absolutely know beyond a shadow of a doubt, she would totally help and do that and have that path. This particular group doesn't feel right. And so when I shared that, her response to me was like, you know what? How beautiful is that? Totally honor it. When the time is right and the situation is right, I know we'll work together. And when I got her email, she didn't even make the attempt to, sell me on anything. She's just so gracious. But when I got the email, I realized this internal thing where there was a part of me that was super disappointed, like, oh, I'm not going to work with her right now. And there was this other part of me, that more intuitive part of me, that felt complete relief. And I'm like, isn't that interesting to hold both of those pieces at the same time? And being able to come as far on my journey as I have, from somebody who had cut myself off from my intuition entirely and completely for quite a number of years, choosing to redevelop that relationship and the journey of, like developing any relationship that went wrong at some point and you're trying to reestablish it and reconnect, there's work to do, right? That trust level has really got to be worked on. And doing that with myself, with that part of me, with that wise one within. And so it's taken years, but coming to this place now where I can separate and recognize both pieces of me. I want to say sort of the human part of me kind of going, oh man, but I really want to work with her, you know? I really do. um, and that intuitive wise one within with the complete relief saying, you know what, you know, this is right. Thank you for listening. And holding both of those spaces. So it's such an interesting process. And another experience that's coming to mind that kind of relates to all of this is doing an interview earlier this week. It'll actually air in a couple of days on Sunday. I've put the post on various channels, but with a skeptic who really does not believe in intuition, doesn't believe in the experience I share. Really, he asked some great questions. The way he's positioning the episode, I know he's making a joke, but it kind of seems like it diminishes it too. So hopefully it'll help people. If it gets them hooked in, great. But it was an interesting experience to talk with a skeptic. And it was really the first time in my life I've been able to talk to a skeptic without the self-doubt. Like the more he asked questions and the more he challenged me on like, are you really serious? Like, come on, it had to be something else. What about this? What about that? The more he challenged me, the more I want to say I grounded in and became more stable and sure and like, no, I absolutely know for me that what I am saying is true. And that juxtaposition of sort of needing the skeptic to ground in my own self-belief. Like sometimes it is so easy to talk with other people who are already there with you and you need them. Oh my gosh, I am so grateful for those people because they're the first ones I spoke with when I began to reconnect. And they were the ones that are like, oh no, you're not crazy. This stuff's real. This is, keep going in this direction. Like I needed them, absolutely needed them. And I still do. I mean, I love that circle of people. But then there comes a place where it's like, well, you're so surrounded by this cushioned bubble to a certain extent that's like, well, what about the rest of the world? So that experience of coming across the skeptic really grounded it in. And I was like, oh, no, I really don't care if he believes me or not. This is what is true for me. And to notice that difference and how far I've come. And I love that. It was so amazing to be on this journey and notice where I am today. And even still the ongoing pieces of the inner conflict and even how that's evolving and the whole process. And I'm actually kind of interested to see where this goes from here too, because I know it's something that can always continue to be developed. And I know because I'm human, there's going to be days where I have the self-doubt, I have the insecurities, I have those experiences and need one of my other friends to help me or a mentor or somebody because that's part of why we have each other, right? And yet I can also come back and remember this experience. Yes, there are these times in my life where I just know. I am grounded and centered in that knowing. I know what's right for me, and it really doesn't matter what anybody else says. And how cool is that? And this ability to remember those experiences can actually bring us back to them when we're lost. And I actually worked through an exercise to help with that on a couple of Mentorship Mondays here recently. I'm going to be posting a particular audio exercise on my website for download to actually help with that, the regrounding and getting recentered and returning to that, and even transforming some of that self-doubt and negative emotions that we experience that get us, I want to say, unhooked from our wise one within. It's a beautiful exercise, and I'm going to be doing just an audio meditation of just that exercise and offering it for a download on my website here very soon. But so cool that these past experiences, even just for a moment where we're grounded, we can use those to move forward when the other stuff comes up too. So I just wanted to share that. I just wanted to share how cool and amazing it is when you're doing the work. So if you're in a place where you're just beginning this journey, please keep going. Please, because it is totally and completely worth it. And if you feel like you're kind of somewhere along the journey and maybe needing a little bit of encouragement, oh my goodness. If it's not me, please reach out to somebody. If you don't have somebody you can reach out to, I hope you will reach out to me. I would love to be of assistance. The bringing people back to their wise one within is something I'm super passionate about and would love to help you anchor that in some way. So reach out to me. My website is a great place to do that. It's Lori Ann with an E, rising.com. Of course, it's in the comments and posts and information available. And yeah, please do. There's a comment form on the website. I answer those emails personally and go from there. If you wind up bringing up a question that I use in a future episode in some way, I will send you a free gift as well. I love rewarding people because I know it takes so much courage to be that vulnerable. So please do reach out. And for those Mentorship Mondays, that is an opportunity as well. So if you're wanting a full mentorship conversation, check those out. There's samples available already from past episodes. There's a link on the website. And know that if you want mentorship, you do not have to be a guest on the show either. So they are two separate things and totally available. While you're there, make sure to sign up to, whether it's subscribing to podcast link, if that's where you're listening to this, or subscribing on YouTube, if that's where you're listening to this, or subscribing on my website when you land there. Definitely subscribe somewhere and stay in touch, because I've got plans for a couple of really amazing things coming up that will be just, it's going to be fun. I'm creating a women's circle. I'm creating additional programs to bring women together, help them really tap into their intuition, that wise one within, that W.O.W, to help us all create the wow life we're craving. So please do connect. And I hope you'll share the show as well. I'd be so honored. And definitely until next time, my friends, keep rising.